Just hit 6:44, and not only is it day 28 of the government shutdown, it's also a day of uncertainty for travelers as air traffic controllers miss a full paycheck. So let's go live in our nation's capital to Scripps News Group national correspondent Joe St. George. And Joe, how much has staffing issues had an effect on air travel recently, and is anything being done to find a resolution?
Well, good morning. Here's the reality. Up until this point, we've reported on delays and even some cancellation of flights because of this shutdown at airports. So what's making today different? Well, today is different because it's the first full paycheck that's being missed by air traffic controllers in this country. And there has already been a warning by the Secretary of Transportation, by the Air Traffic Controllers Union, that now we're going to see an even greater uptick in the number of air traffic controllers that may call out sick. And you do not need to be proficient in airport operations to know that even if just a handful of air traffic controllers call out, it has the possibility of creating a domino effect. If you find yourself flying today, tomorrow, anytime soon, you may encounter air traffic controllers depending on where you're flying out of. They are handing out flyers in airports all across the country, encouraging passengers to call their congressman. Here's the reality. Up until this point, unless you're a federal worker, unless you're someone who relies on a government program or service, maybe you haven't felt the impact of this shutdown, even though it's lasted 28 days. Now you're talking about possible disruptions to air travel. A whole host of Americans are going to be brought into this and wondering what's going on with inaction in Washington. Nobody wants to see chaos and confusion in America's airports, right? Nobody wants that. But the reality is this may be, if in fact there is a great disruption, an issue that brings Democrats and Republicans together. So now we wait for any possible impacts. And remember, today may be okay-ish at America's airports. Tomorrow may be okay-ish. It may not be until this weekend or next week until a great disruption occurs. But if you're flying anytime soon, you're going to want to keep this in the back of your mind.
Hey, thank you as always, Joe. We did check in with airports across Colorado to see if they're seeing any of those impacts. Colorado Springs Airport says operations, they're running smoothly right now with no delays tied to the shutdown reported. Denver International Airport is also seeing normal operations again for the time being. While Colorado's airports report running as normal, DIA is reminding travelers to arrive at least 2 hours early and check your flight status online in case of any changes.